This is the road to the big game.
You are looking at the Big House in Ann Arbor, the site of the 110th meeting between Ohio State and Michigan. We're counting you down to kickoff literally right now. 27 minutes and 20 seconds until we go to national coverage on your Kettering Health Network clock. We take you right up to the kickoff of the Buckeyes and the Wolverines. Welcome to the Road to the Big Game pregame show on ABC 22. I'm Nathan Baker, and we have an action-packed half hour ahead. So sit down, enjoy as we take you on the field and behind the scenes of the greatest rivalry in college football. Now, I can't do this alone. So I have recruited the man, former Buckeye and Wayne Warrior, Donnie Evege. Donnie, a hard-hitting special teamer for Jim Tressel, played from 2007 to 2011, played in every major bowl game you'd want to ever play in, including a 2008 BCS National Championship. Donnie, you got the rings, you got the gold pants.
Yes,
We're
sir.
happy to have you here on ABC 22.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's get right to it. We're going to hear a lot from Donnie, but let's go back to Ann Arbor as you take the field with our Menards field level pass. We'll be doing this throughout the game, throughout the pregame show. Here are the unbeaten number 3 Buckeyes. Getting off the bus, arriving at the Big House. As always, before the game, Urban Meyer was greeting each one with a handshake, a hug, a fist pound, you know it, a show of unity and encouragement. Donnie, I've been to the Big House for this game on the sidelines, one of my favorite venues of all. What's it like to play at Michigan Stadium?
Nathan, I tell you, it is high energy, electric. The stadium, like the way the fans are, all the noise just comes crashing down right on the players right before we get ready to play. So in one word, I would say electric.
And what's amazing about this stadium, if you don't know it, there's really only two ways in. So you guys, the Wolverines and the Buckeyes, are smashed together in one place for the biggest game of the year.
Exactly. With only having one way in and one way out, tensions at an all-time high for the biggest game of the year. You can only imagine the feelings that the players have. They're ready to play. They can't wait till kickoff, and that's what we're going to do right now here in about a half hour. Watch our Buckeyes take the field.
That's right, and this is the game both teams, the fan bases, circle each and every year. Even in a bad season, this can soothe all the pain with a win, or for the Buckeyes, nothing like stringing together back-to-back undefeated regular seasons with a win over that team up north.
I learned to dislike Michigan at a very young age, and but no, you never really truly appreciate till you're behind the walls here and find out how serious it is.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little bit different because this is a rivalry week. You can't act the same as you act every week as you do with a rivalry week. This is the biggest game we're gonna play all year, and the biggest game we probably will play in the next few years. They're gonna always try to spoil our season, and if they're doing great, we'll try to spoil their season. So no matter what the records are, we're gonna try to do our best to play each other.
Well, there is no love lost between these two. It's the best rivalry in college sports. I have no problem saying that. You swept them in your career, Donnie, and recently, except for one hiccup in a down year, it has been all Buckeyes. Let's relive what's been a great over decade for the Ohio State Buckeyes. No one dominated the team up north like Jim Tressel, your former head coach there at OSU. Started his career by guaranteeing that he would beat the rival. He delivered. Tressel went 9-1 in his career, best record for any Buckeye coach against Michigan. Then Tressel left in a hurry, and it left a big hole to fill. Luke Fickell did his best, but he was unable to capture that same magic. Brady Hoke, a Kettering native, hired at Michigan, and he did what others could not do. He beat Ohio State 40-34 in Ann Arbor. The last time they played at the Big House a couple years ago, it looked like Michigan was going to turn the tide in the rivalry, but Urban Meyer was hired, and everyone was happy to see him. Michigan's success was short-lived. Urban capped off a perfect 12-0 regular season with a 26-21 win over Hoke and the Wolverines. They didn't have a bowl game last year, so this was the biggest win of the year, and that leads us to today, the 110th meeting between Ohio State and Michigan. Despite the run of success, Ohio State still trails Michigan in the all-time series. Wolverines 58-45. There are 6 ties in there as well. Of course, Donnie, he was part of the recent success. Show them the gold pants. You got the gold pants. I encourage you to do it. 4 of them. Not a lot of players in this rivalry get a chance to have 4 pairs of gold pants. What was it like in your time when you know that's the game you always have to win? It's what you're, it's what you're remembered for, your class. What was it like to win and win and win and win?
It was special. We took a lot of pride in being the victors, versus Michigan. We love playing for Coach Trussell, just like these guys on the Ohio State team now love playing for Coach Meyer. What I loved most about Coach Trussell was how he brought Coach Earl Bruce, former Ohio State coach, in the week before the Michigan game, leading up to, and he just nailed and laid into us the tradition of what this game really means. Not just to the football family, but to Buckeye Nation, which is our family.
And Urban Meyer actually did the same thing before they hopped on the bus yesterday. Earl Bruce came in. What's that speech like? What's he kind of give you guys?
For those of you guys who have never heard Coach Earl Bruce really talk, it's enthusiastic. He goes in detail talking about if we do not win this game, don't walk the streets of Columbus. You know, you want to keep your head held high, so make sure every play you do what you have to do your job, and take care of business. And obviously, you took care of plenty of business in your time at Ohio State. Kettering Health Network clock has us at just under 22 minutes until national coverage here on ABC 22. Coming up, a unique look at Brady Hoke's history in the area, why his biggest supporters are dancing with excitement at the thought of upsetting OSU. Plus, the road to perfection. Ohio State has a shot at even more history. What the Buckeyes are saying as they look to go 24-0 under Urban Meyer. But first, another look outside the big house. Look, there's some scarlet and gray, there's some maize and blue. We'll take you back to the field as we return to the road to the big game pregame show.
You're watching The Road to the Big Game.
Welcome back to the road to the big game pregame show. The Kettering Health Network countdown clock has us at 18 minutes and 55 seconds away from national coverage. Now, the man who leads that team up north is Miami Valley born and raised, but he's always been a Wolverine, at least according to his sister, who still lives in Kettering. And our Elise Coulter sat down with her one-on-one to find out more about this Buckeye born but maize and blue bred head coach.
He wanted to be different, and he liked Michigan, and he's got his wish. He's there. His dream job.
Terry Hoke Manning proudly wears maize and blue.
Life is spelled Football.
Football is in her family's blood.
My dad played football at Miami, and so he was a big Miami football fan. We've been big Ohio supporters. My son played football at Miami, and here we are, Michigan fans.
Fans of that team up north because of her younger brother, Brady.
He's done well. He's got a good record, and he will continue to. He knows what he's doing.
Before becoming the team's leader, Brady was an assistant coach and then associate coach at Michigan for 8 years. He left to be the head coach at San Diego State.
When he took the job at San Diego State, he said, I'll stay here as long as, I don't get the call from Michigan.
Michigan called in 2011 after they fired Rich Rodriguez, and the team up north hadn't beat Ohio State since 2003, but that changed with Brady.
It's been an important rivalry for him always, so I think he has. He's put more emphasis on it, maybe than another coach would have that hadn't come from Ohio and grown up with the rivalry.
The rivalry so big for Brady that he refers to OSU in only one way.
Just Ohio. Don't ask me why. But to him, they're just Ohio, not Ohio State.
For his first season as head coach, Brady took the Wolverines to their first victory over Ohio State in 8 years. But it wasn't just a win for Brady and his family.
We were so excited. We were all there. It was the same year that they beat Notre Dame at the last minute, and it was actually the only season my dad passed away at the end of the first season, so it was a special year.
A special year they hope to repeat.
Go Blue. I think we're going to win.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. Yes, it always is. No matter where it is, it's crazy.
Reporting in Kettering, Elise Coulter.
Thank you, Elise. The Hoke family, unbelievable. I had a chance to meet Brady's dad before the Michigan game his first year. He passed away after that game. He actually came down in the press box in Ann Arbor, brought me in there and let me sit in the coach's suite and watch the game. Just a great family.
Wow.
It was tough for a Buckeye guy to do that, but Brady Hoke's done a great job. Hopefully he can continue to turn around this, because you want this rivalry.
You do, and I'm glad that he's kind of starting to turn the program around, because you want to see that tradition be upheld, because it's the biggest game of the year. It doesn't matter what Michigan's record is. It doesn't matter what our record is. This is the game, and I respect him. I wish he wouldn't call us just Ohio, but it's all good for right now. Today we're going to prove a point.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go until he reaches where Urban is, though. Urban has won 23 straight games. Today they'll be going for a 24th straight game, all under Urban Meyer, looking to cap off a second straight perfect regular season, and they'd love to do it against their rival.
Not many teams can say they went 12-0 2 years in a row. I mean, not many teams in NCAA history. So, and then to cap it off, it's the team up north like to end it out, and that's probably a great feeling because you know how much is riding on that game already, and then to be already undefeated and that just adds to it.
It means a lot, especially to beat the team up north 2 years in a row down mean the world, and then just be able to go 24-0 right now, and just been able to be 23-0 right now. Words can't explain it because it's going to be in history forever.
Well, Donnie, you won a lot of games at Ohio State. You never had a streak like this. You went to a title game. You felt pressure in games. Can you imagine what it's like every week to know that you have never lost a game, especially for Urban Meyer?
I can only imagine the pressure that these young men are feeling right now, because it is pressure. Week in and week out, you got the fans, you got your family, coaches, everyone's saying, we got to get this win, you got to do it again. And the way to handle that, I believe, is take it one play at a time.
Now, this is what you guys always say, and the media people are always like, really? You guys are like robotic in this way, but you guys truly believe it. I mean, how do you fans are like weeks in advance, but you guys truly focus on each play in each game, don't you?
We do, and I give all the credit to Coach Jim Tressel, who I played for, and I'm pretty sure that Coach Urban Meyer is doing a great job with that as well, because it's proof they're undefeated. And the main thing is just focus on school, your grades, practice, the film study, and everything else, the social networks, all the gossip, that's not here. It's one game at a time, one play at a time. Well,
a lot of people are sitting down right now, getting the wings, everything ready for this big game. Let's go back to Ann Arbor. Check out this place, the Maize and Blue Delicatessen, a staple in Ann Arbor. Every sandwich named for a Wolverine great. I didn't know they had any, or a big fan. There's even the Where's Bo, in honor of Bo Schembechler. Pastrami, fried egg, Canadian cheddar, mayo, onion, green pepper on grilled chalice. You're in shape. You're not like me. I mean, I'll eat anything that's put in front of me. Maybe not some of those sandwiches there on the Michigan board, but there's some good places to eat in Ann Arbor. It's a great place.
You know, I've never have had a meal there besides the pregame meal that Coach Tressel gave us. But I'm like you. I don't know if I want to try too much on that food item. I'm more of an easy living guy, representing Vladi in Columbus. That's my taste.
I'm sure everyone's a little sketchy when they're eating in Ann Arbor and you got Buckeye on. You never know what's happening to the food.
Yeah, I'd pass on that one.
Right now, we are 13 minutes exactly away from the big game, according to our Kettering Health Network countdown to kickoff clock. Coming up, we caught up with Urban Meyer when he arrived last night in Ann Arbor, how he was feeling the night before the first game at the Big House for him, plus a house to fight in, how a local couple deals with the rivalry. We go inside the marriage of a Buckeye and a Wolverine. That's crazy. But as we head out, another look at an Ann Arbor beautiful shot here at the clock tower downtown. So soon enough, we'll be kicking off the 110th meeting between Ohio State and Michigan. Let's go field level with our Menards Field Level Pass. Kettering native Brady Hoke and his Michigan Wolverines arrived earlier today with a little pep in their step. Michigan coming off a loss to Iowa. They're 7-4 overall, 3-4 in conference play. However, they are bowl eligible. They'd love nothing more than to end the Buckeyes' 23-0 run today. Welcome back. Our Kettering Health Network countdown to kickoff clock says we are 9 minutes and 40 seconds away from game time. In one Miami Valley home, somebody's guaranteed to have bragging rights. Imagine being married to a Michigan fan. Elise Coulter found a house divided.
I didn't realize she was a Michigan fan back then.
And 20 years later, Mike and Doreen Freewalt still argue about one thing.
Who do you think is going to win this year?
Ohio State.
That's right, the biggest rivalry in college football is the biggest fight in their home.
I tried to conjure the grandkids into believing that Ohio State fans get more for Christmas from Santa. And it works, it does. I just want to put that out there right now.
Go Bucks, Michigan sucks, we're there to beat their Bucks.
But it doesn't stop there. The pair celebrate the big game with their family every year and decorate their home with Ohio State and that team up north's gear.
This time around, Ohio State deserves it and ready to rock the house and put them back on the bus.
Well, we'll see.
And with their house and family divided by the teams, they make the game interesting.
If Michigan wins, he's got to cook and do dishes for a whole week.
And if Ohio State wins, she's going to help me finish my building out there.
The couple even fight about how each other watches the big game.
And when Michigan does anything good at all, she's jumping around, and that's a Michigan fan for you. You know, they're excited.
Oh, that's right.
They're
got to root for the team that wins.
kind of like going to a circus, actually. You know.
Oh, you better just stop right there. You better cut that now.
But one thing is for sure, the couple will always agree to disagree.
I think it'll be a close game. Right.
No.
Reporting in St. Mary's, Elise Coulter.
Thank you very much, Elise. That's going to be a tense situation today in that household. You obviously have been on the side of the Buckeyes forever, but you have probably know people that are Michigan fans, maybe friends. I don't know if you call them that.
Right. I would say associates. Yeah, there's no Michigan in my family.
All right, it's time now for the Health Foods Unlimited Peak Performers for today's game. Donnie, let's start with Michigan. Who do you have?
For Michigan, I have quarterback Devin Gardner. He's a big, explosive guy. He has a huge arm, and he can make plays with his legs. The second key performer I have is the defensive end, Frank Clark. This guy is quick, he's strong, and we have to get our hands on him so he doesn't get in the backfield.
And because we believe Ohio State will make a lot more plays, your peak performers first on offense for the Buckeyes.
This is a no-brainer. You know, we got Braxton Miller, quarterback.
Birthday boy.
Birthday. Hey, shout out to Braxton Miller. Happy birthday. He's got an unbelievable arm. I would not want to try and tackle him in open space because he will make you miss. The second key performer is Carlos Hyde. This guy is explosive. He reminds me of a Beanie Wells. I played against both of them in practice, up close in person. You don't want to go against those guys. For defense, the key performers I have Ryan Shazier. He's the leader.
Stud.
Yes, he is. He's the leader, of that defense. He calls the plays, he's the rock, and he has to make sure he makes all the tackles that come his way and does his job. The second key performer for defense is Bradley Roby, cornerback. He's a 4.3, 40-yard dash guy. When he does his combine, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 4.2. I don't see him getting beat deep. He's going to play smart today and make plays.
And for Roby and Hyde, and I believe also Shazier, this will probably be the last time, for two of them for sure, the last time they play Michigan, so you know they're going to be pumped up today. Now, the Buckeyes arrived last night in Ann Arbor. Our cameras were there as they showed up to the team hotel. Our own Clay Hall caught up with Coach Urban Meyer.
It was a great week of preparation. Now it's time to go play the game.
What's the biggest key for you?
Biggest key is, well, there's a lot of different keys, but anytime you're in big games, and especially you go on the road, it's a toughness element. Usually the toughest team wins this game.
Anything to say back to the folks in Ohio?
Oh, just we're going to fight our best for the great state of Ohio. Thanks.
Any good quick stories from the night before in Ann Arbor, Donnie?
You know, I don't have anything too interesting besides just imagine the night before. You know, the whole world's going to be watching you, and it's game time.
It's got to be a little tense, maybe hard to sleep.
Very hard to sleep. At least for me and my roommate, it was hard to sleep.
Let's touch on, we talked about Braxton, but today there's going to be a large Miami Valley impact. Michael Bennett, we got Cam Burrows, played a lot from Trotwood last week.
Taylor Decker.
Taylor Decker obviously starts on the line. You were a Miami Valley guy. What's it like to make an impact for your home state?
It's special. You know, we have so much support right here in the Dayton area. And anytime for me being on special teams, going and making a tackle on kickoff, it just meant the world to me to get the text messages, the Facebook posts saying, man, congratulations, you represented us well. And that's why I know Michael Bennett, the Taylor Deckers, the CJ Barnetts, they're going to have a big game today because they're playing for more than just themselves. They're playing for Buckeye Nation.
It's been special to watch these kids grow up in high school and then play for this team and see them have so much success. We are 4 minutes and about 30 seconds away from kickoff on the national side, according to the Kettering Health Network countdown to kickoff clock, but we are far from done. Coming up, Donnie gives us our Miami Valley Honda keys to the games, what you need to know for OSU to go 12-0. But first, we go back to the field. The Kettering Health Network clock got us almost at 4 minutes again. Look at them. They're starting to pile in there. We need a little bit more scarlet and gray. Stay tuned.
You're watching The Road to the Big Game.
And it is time for our Miami Valley Honda keys to the game. Donnie, what needs to happen for a Buckeye victory?
Well, the first key to the game is going to be the line of scrimmage. It's going to be really important that Dayton's very own Centerville, Michael Bennett, gets pressure on the quarterback. And on the flip side of things, on the offensive line, Taylor Deckert from Vandalia Butler has to have a great game protecting Braxton Miller and Carlos Hyde.
And if they do that, they'll run the ball.
They will run the ball, and that's the second key to the game. We have to run hard, whether it be Carlos Hyde or his backup Jordan Hall, Rod Smith. Whoever gets that ball has to protect it and run. Coach Russell always said every yard is double. So if you have a five-yard run, Coach Russell would always say it equals 10. That's the importance of this game. And also clock management. If we can dictate the flow of the game, that's key. Now the third key to success for today's game is going to be OSU's secondary. C.J. Barnett, he's a leader. He stepped up a bunch since Christian Bryant went down a few weeks ago. He needs to have a huge game making tackles. And also Bradley Roby, the cornerback, taking care of business in that secondary.
We know what you think. Give me a prediction. I want to score. I know that's tough for you.
It is tough. It is tough. I'm going to go with 56-17 Ohio State, and I got that number from a friend of mine, Brandon Brewer, on Facebook.
Awesome. I actually think this has the potential to be the biggest Buckeye blowout in this rivalry if it goes the way it is expected. Now, real quick, I got to say so long. This will be my last day for ABC 22 and Fox 45 TV. I have been here for 8 years. You have welcomed me into your home. It has been truly a blessing to come home, work in this area, watch guys like you go from high school to college and now here with me. It's been truly an honor. Thank you so much for embracing me. I'll still be in the area, and I'll still be watching you and your Buckeyes. Thank you so much, Donnie.
Thank you.
For the road to the big game, for Donnie Evege, for our local sponsors, and Nathan Baker, thank you so much. And OH,
I-O.
Enjoy the game.
You're the man. Appreciate you.